Welcome to the video practice series for yoga with MBPR. Here are a few tips before we begin. Set up your home space to be comfortable and ready to practice. If you have yoga props, such as a mat, block, or strap, or cushion, gather them before you start. Household items may also be used as props. For example, you may want a foldable blanket, a bath towel or bathrobe belt, a small firm pillow or couch cushion. Please be attentive to your body. If any of the movements raises questions or concerns for you, you may wish to skip or modify elements of the practice. We ask you to proceed with care and talk to the MBPR teacher or the research team about any concerns. Let's begin. Find a seat on a chair, preferably a chair that's stable and without arms. Beginning in seated mountain pose. Sit close to the edge of the chair so that your feet rest firmly on the floor. And begin to arrive in your practice. You can begin by lifting all 10 toes. Just lifting the toes, keeping the balls of the feet, the soles of the feet, and the heels on the floor. And then bring the toes back down. Once again, try lifting the toes. Lift and spread the toes. And bring the toes back down to the floor, keeping them wide, keeping them long. You might take a peek down at the toes as well, just looking to make sure that the feet are in alignment and one isn't in front of the other or behind the other. The feet are in parallel, about the width of your hips. Knees also about hip distance apart. And if needed, go ahead and repeat the lifting and lowering of the toes to orient and notice the contact of the toes and the soles of the feet as the toes come back down. Let your attention move to your seat on the chair and just rocking a little bit from left to right, rocking from left to right on your seat, settling in. See if you can find a point that feels like center as you come back into stillness, resting equally on the left and right sides, reaching down into the chair through the sitting bones. Noticing a corresponding lift and lengthening up through the torso. Allow the shoulders to lift to the ears for just a moment, hunching the shoulders up, and then roll the shoulders back and down, nice and broad across the chest and collarbones. You might even try dragging your hands in towards you just a little bit to allow the elbows to relax, the shoulders to relax. Eyes can be open or closed. Notice the position of your head, right on top, neither too far forward nor too far back. Nice space between your ears and your shoulders. And the crown of the head, the very top of the head, lifting towards the sky. Seated mountain. As you sit, begin to notice the breath. For this practice, we'll keep the lips together and breathe easily, evenly through the nose, not holding the breath. Starting to rock from side to side again on your seat, begin to take it into a bit of a circular motion. As you rock, you're adding a circle through the spine, through the torso. Notice whether you're going clockwise or counterclockwise. And you are in charge of the pacing and the speed here. So you might start out with a fairly slow circle. You might want to go a little faster. But as you continue, start to make your circle slightly bigger, like you're spiraling outward in a slightly more expansive gesture, circling and noticing how your weight shifts through your seat and your feet as you go. Good. Again, not holding the breath, breathing easily in and out through the nose. And as you're ready, pause for a moment and then change direction. So start circling the other way. And again, you can maintain this larger circling or circumference as you go, or you can start to make that spiral in a little bit so your circle becomes a little smaller, a little narrower, eventually finding your way back to center and preparing to transition into stillness, returning to your seated mountain. Seated cat-cow. Begin by drawing the belly softly in towards the back and letting the shoulders round forward, allowing the head to release as well. Notice how you're curling the back very softly towards the back of the chair. Reverse that now, letting the chest lift, the shoulders roll back, and the tailbone lift a little bit back behind you too. So you're arching here, keeping the chin softly in towards the throat. Begin to curl forward. Exhaling here if you like. And then inhaling to lift. You can begin to explore the direction of the breath as you arch and curl. So noticing as you continue the feeling of the breath moving out or the feeling of the breath coming in through the nose. And taking two more just like this. Now coming back into the rounded position and hold. Allow the shoulders to release away from the ears some while maintaining this rounded position through the back body, through the spine. And bring a breath in, noticing how there might be a feeling of expansion through the body as the breath comes in, and then softly release on exhale. Exploring that for the next two breaths. Breath might come in and feel like it's expanding through the upper back or the mid back, low back. Softening on exhale. And then coming back up when you're ready, returning to seated mountain. Seated twist. Let the hands come to rest softly on your belly at about the level of the belly button. Begin to turn the belly button, turn the belly to the right, like you're trying to move the center of your belly over across the right thigh. The chest and the head may follow, but we're leading from the belly. And then go ahead and release that rotation back to center. If this starts to feel like it's bringing tension into the shoulders or elbows, it's fine to release the hands down to the lap. Otherwise, again, beginning to turn from the belly, rotating to the right. You might start to find a natural breath pattern with this. Exhaling back to center. This time, lift the hands in front of the heart and reach out in front. So the palms touch each other at shoulder height. Bring attention to the belly and start turning the belly to the right. Once again, same direction, turning to the right. Let the hands follow the movement of the belly. Option to stay here, make sure the shoulders are relaxed, space between the shoulders and the ears, or opening the right arm out to the side and towards the back of the chair. Staying here or opening the left arm out in front at a diagonal in the opposite direction of the right arm, opening across the chest out into the palms of the hands, breathing in here to lengthen and expand, breathing out to relax. Hands come back in front of the heart, belly unwinds back to center, hands come to the lap, mountain pose. Pause and notice any effects of the practice, sensations in the body. And when you're ready, bring the hands back to rest on the belly. Beginning to turn in the opposite direction to the left this time. Start to turn the belly center to the left, allowing the chest and the shoulders to follow the head. And release back to center. Again, as you're ready, you might add the breath this time, exhaling into the rotation to the left and inhaling back to center. Let the hands come together in front of the heart and then reach the palms out in front of you, fingertips pointing straight forward, palms touch, shoulders down away from the ears. Begin the rotation again from the belly, spinning to the left. Let the arms follow, let the hands follow. This time, noticing the touch of the feet on the floor, adding a gentle pressure into the soles of both feet. Option to start opening the left arm back behind you. Maybe pressing a little more firmly into the right foot. Option to open the right arm as well, adding pressure through the other foot. Breathing here. And let the hands come back to center, turning back to your seated mountain. Hands will come back in front of the heart and return to your lap. From seated mountain, returning to cat-cow, and we'll demonstrate it from the side so that you can see the movement of the spine through these different positions. Beginning to round through the back, letting the shoulders come forward and the head release. And then inhaling to lift. You can start to explore the direction of your breath here. Reaching the mid-back and lower back behind you. And inhaling to lift. And please continue 3 more of these on your own. And then returning to your seated mountain, and we'll face forward once again. From seated mountain, bring the left fingertips to the left shoulder, lightly, and begin to reach the left elbow out towards the side wall. Coming further, reach the elbow up towards the ceiling as you begin to side bend, lengthening through the left side waist from the hip to the underarm, through the elbow, and then releasing. Bring the elbow back down. Let the fingertips rest lightly. Once again, bring the fingertips back to the top of the shoulder. Lift the elbow to the side wall. Option to repeat the same variation or extend out through that left arm, reaching the fingertips up overhead, making some space between the ear and the shoulder, connecting the left side of the rear end and the sitting bones to the chair, connecting that left foot to the floor, and release, bringing the arm back down. Fingertips can return to the shoulder or just straight back down to your lap. We'll repeat this one more time. Let the fingertips come to the shoulder and begin to lift the elbow. Elbow can reach, elbow can lift up towards the ceiling or unfold the arm. Space between the ear and the shoulder as the arm reaches up overhead. Totally optional. Maybe try turning the face down towards the floor to look at the right side, noticing how that feels for the neck, releasing the neck. One more breath here. And let the arm come back down. Returning to your seated mountain, pause and notice sensations, particularly in that left shoulder, arm, and hand. And let's just lift that hand out in front for a moment. Let the hand be relaxed and lift it up off of the lap and just shake the hand. Shake it out like you're just very easy with shaking out the hand, the elbow, the arm. And then bring the hand back to rest on the lap. Now lift the right fingertips to the right shoulder. Lift the right elbow out to the side and up overhead. Beginning to come into a side reach through the right side body from the hip to the underarm to the elbow, and then release. The hand can come back to the shoulder or to the lap. Second time, bring the hands back to the top of the shoulder. Bring the hand back to the top of the shoulder. Reach the elbow out to the side. Reaching the elbow up overhead, coming into your side reach. Option to extend through that arm. Space between the shoulder and the ear. Connect the right side of the rear end to the chair through the sit bones. Connect the right foot to the floor. Perhaps turning the face to look down at the floor. And as you're ready, releasing. One more time. We'll come into the pose, begin to extend through the arm or through the elbow, reaching up over the head as you're ready, coming into your side bend. Lengthening, lifting, and adding breath awareness here. So noticing what can, noticing sensations of the breath coming in, expanding areas of the body, and releasing, relaxing on the exhale, coming all the way out of the pose and back to your seated mountain. And let's just lift that hand out in front for a moment. Let the hand be relaxed and lift it up off of the lap and just shake the hand. Shake it out like you're just very easy with shaking out the hand, the elbow, the arm. And then bring the hand back to rest on the lap. So from seated mountain, begin to open your arms out to the sides, palms facing forward, and the chest begins to lift, coming into a little back bend the way we were working with earlier. Start to bring the arms around in front, keeping the shoulders low, and as if you're hugging a giant beach ball, allow the back to curl around that ball as well. Neck can release some. Follow your breath. Inhale to open like wings, the arms on either side, finding your back bend, and then exhale to curl. Rounding forward, bring the arms along with you one more time on your own. And this time we'll stay here for a few breaths. As you stay here, notice how the breath expands into different areas of the body, creating space, movement. As you exhale, release and soften. Taking your time and letting go of the arms, bring the hands back to the lap, coming back to your neutral, long seated position. Leg extensions. From seated mountain, reach the right heel away from you. The toes of the right foot come back in towards your face, and check to make sure that there's a soft bend, a small bend in the right knee. Staying lifted upright here, draw your belly back in towards your back to create some support. Shoulders are low. Beginning to tilt forward from the hips, coming into a forward bend. Now, not forward bending from the waist, but more from the hips. And then come back up to neutral. Bring the right foot back in towards you. Let's repeat that from the side view just to get a sense of the posture. So starting in seated mountain. So reach the right heel away from you. The toes coming back in towards you. Micro bend in the right knee. Long and lifted through the torso. Bring your belly back towards your back for support. Begin to tilt forward from the hips, any amount, just a little bit. Avoiding rounding at the waist. Yes. So instead, hinging at the hips, staying long and lifted and supported from the front to the back, coming just to the point where you start to feel interesting sensation or strong sensation in the back of that outstretched leg. For some of us, it will be just a little bit forward. Others may need to come further forward before feeling it. Pausing and staying here with the sensation. Begin to add the breath, bringing attention toward the sensation as you breathe, how that begins to change the sensation as you stay here. And then releasing, lifting back up, and bring that right foot back to center. From seated mountain, reach the left heel forward along the floor, keeping the heel on the floor. Bring the toes back towards the face. Make sure that there's a micro bend in that knee. And stay lifted and supported through the upper body by bringing the front towards the back, the belly towards the spine, without rigidity through the shoulders. Begin to tilt forward from the hips, not rounding at the waist, but coming forward, maintaining that nice long spine. Coming just to the point where you start to feel interesting sensation in the back of that outstretched leg. And begin to breathe into any sensation that you notice in the body here. Breathing easily in and out through the nose, not holding the breath, curious about sensation and the effect of breathing. And then lifting when you're ready, coming back up, support the back with the belly, lifting all the way back up, and bring that left foot back into center. Lift the right arm out to the side at shoulder height with the palm facing up. With the right arm lifted out to the side and the palm facing up, relax the right shoulder and add a bend through the right elbow. Now we're going to stay here for a little bit. The invitation to you as practitioner is to get curious about what happens as you hold the arm in place for a little while. And we can exaggerate that slightly by making a fist with the hand and intentionally tensing and tightening through that right arm as it's lifted. At any point, it's fine for you to go ahead and soften again while keeping the arm in place, letting go of the tension through the arm. Starting to notice the experience of effort. We'll stay just a little bit longer, noticing the breathing. And then go ahead and release that hand back to your lap. And shake the hand out if you like. Staying with the same side, lift that arm back out to your side. Same side, palm facing up. Soft bend in the elbow. This time, try lifting the opposite foot up off the floor. Lifting the foot, the thigh can lift slightly, and holding here. Use the belly to support the back. Notice the feeling of effort, and if possible, allow something to relax or release around that feeling of necessary effort. And then bring the foot back down, let the hand come back down to your lap. And we'll try it on the second side. We'll lift the left arm out to the side with the palm facing up. A soft bend in the elbow, and we'll try a similar exploration. So if you like now, intentionally creating effort, creating tension through that arm by making a fist, and tightening through the hand, tightening through the arm up into the shoulder. And contrasting that with softening again. So you can release the fist if you like, notice what else lets go through the arm, the body, but maintaining the effort of holding the arm in place. Just another couple of breaths. Notice if you started to hold the breath and bring the hand back to the lap. You can go ahead and shake it out before we add on. So again, lift the left arm out to the side, soft bend in the elbow, palm facing up. Maintaining the position with the arm, we're going to add on by lifting the right foot up off the floor. And continuing to support the back by drawing the belly slightly in. And again, noticing with curiosity any areas of tension or holding that might be unnecessary here to maintain the posture. See what could be let go while holding the pose and without holding the breath. And then releasing the foot back down to the floor, let the hand come back to the lap. Seated cat-cow. Begin by drawing the belly softly in towards the back and letting the shoulders round forward, allowing the head to release as well. Notice how you're curling the back very softly towards the back of the chair. Reverse that now, letting the chest lift, the shoulders roll back, and the tailbone lift a little bit back behind you too. So you're arching here, keeping the chin softly in towards the throat. Begin to curl forward. From seated mountain, bring the fingertips to the tops of the shoulders and reach your elbows out to opposite walls. Elbows pointing towards opposite walls. Start to make little tiny circles, as if you're drawing on opposite walls with the points of your elbows. And just notice if you're circling from front to back or from back to front. But start to make the circles a little bit bigger. Oh, you're in charge here, so you get to decide how big your circles are, how fast or slow your circles are. Notice what's happening with the breath. Maybe starting to draw the elbows a little closer together in front as you come around and down, or up towards the ceiling or back behind. Noticing the sensations in the shoulders, in the upper back, in the chest. And as you're ready, you can pause and then change direction. So whatever way you're circling, start to go the other direction. And start to make the circles smaller and smaller. So that over the next few, you start to draw on the walls again with the points of the elbows. And then let it go. Let the hands come back to your lap. Tilt your head so that your right ear moves in the direction of your right shoulder. Lift your left arm out to the side with the palm facing up. Soft bend in the elbow. Breathe into the side of the neck, along the left arm and up into the left side of the neck. Let the palm come back down to the lap, bring the chin to the chest, and then rolling to the right, to the left side. Bring the chin to the chest, roll to the left side. Extend the right arm out to the side, palm facing up, soft bend in the elbow. Bring the breath into the right side of the neck, along the right arm, up into the right side of the neck, breathing. Bring the palm back to the lap, roll the chin to the chest, and lift the head back up to center. Beginning to move fluidly now through the shoulders, coming into an undulation through the shoulders, the chest. This is a self-directed exploration of sensation in more fluid movement. Eyes can be open or closed. allowing the ribs to move, the belly. You can let the arms start to flow and float. And even though you're seated in a chair, you might find some movement through the hips and the rear end, maybe even through the legs and the feet. You are in charge of deciding the speed, the pace, the direction, and also what areas of the body you are undulating or flowing or oozing into. If you start to do the same movement repeatedly, if you find yourself repeating the same movement, change it up a little bit. This is a chance to explore. This is a chance to explore and find movement in areas of the body that may not have gotten much attention recently. If you are able and you feel like you want to move up out of the chair, you're welcome to do so. And continuing just a little bit longer, unsticking. Notice what's happening with the breath. Even though it may feel a little awkward, awkward can be interesting here. Letting yourself play, letting yourself flow. And in just a moment, preparing to transition back into stillness. As we come back into relative stillness, placing the feet on the floor, standing mountain, pausing and noticing any echo or resonance of the movement, the energy of the body, the breath. Acknowledging yourself for completing today's practice. Thank you.